We start with President Trump's first visit to the Valley this year.
He flew out of Sky Harbor just about 30 minutes ago. He was in town hosting a Turning Point USA event in North Phoenix. The president touched down at Sky Harbor just before 2 p.m. this afternoon, spending the morning in Las Vegas. And once he arrived in Phoenix, he traveled to Dream City Church for an event titled Build the Red Wall, the focus on strengthening the Republican base in Arizona ahead of the midterm elections.
We have team coverage of the president's visit today. Brian Webb at Sky Harbor Airport, Andrew Christensen outside Dream City Church, where supporters and protesters gathered ahead of the president's arrival.
But let's begin with let's begin with Taylor Wirtz. I've got to get my lineup here. She is inside Dream City Church. It looks like you've been pushed outside. To be expected. Everybody cleared out pretty quickly when the event was over. What did President Trump say today?
Yeah, John and Christina, things wrapped up just a little while ago, so we are outside of Dream City Church right now. But as you said, tonight's message, build the red wall. So keynote speaker Donald Trump and President Donald Trump and several others encouraging people to get out and vote, especially young people in the upcoming midterm elections. And of course, they specifically want people to vote Republican. Other speakers range from Turning Point CEO Erica Kirk to some famous faces and even Arizona's top congressional Republicans. Now, doors here at Dream City Church opened at 9 a.m., but people were lining up as early as last night. Speakers kicked off at noon, including Danica Patrick, former athletes Jay Feely and Jeremy Roenick, former Pinell County Sheriff Mark Lamb, and several Arizona congressmen, including Representative Andy Biggs, who the president endorsed for Arizona governor. Turning Point CEO Erica Kirk introduced the president, talking about the work her late husband Charlie started and wanting it to continue. President Trump talked about a multitude of things, everything from immigration to cost of living, saying his administration has made significant achievements in all of those areas. One of the most anticipated topics, of course, was Iran. He reiterated that the Strait of Hormuz is open, but emphasized that the U.S. naval blockade will remain in effect until everything's resolved, which he claims will be very soon.
Iran has just announced that the Strait of Hormuz is fully open and ready for business and full passage. But the naval blockade, with the greatest navy in the world, from the greatest military the world has ever seen, we built it during my first term. We built it. They said I was crazy. We weren't so crazy, were we?
Now, Turning Point tells us more than 3,000 people were gathered here at Dream City Church for today's rally. At times, it felt like a concert. Others, it felt like a church. And of course, there were plenty of protesters outside these doors as well who we spoke with. They said they wanted President Trump to know that there is strong opposition to him and his policies here in Phoenix and throughout the rest of Arizona. But everyone we talked to could agree that the midterm elections this fall should be very interesting. In North Phoenix, Taylor Wirtz, Fox 10 News.
After wrapping up his speech today, the president departed Phoenix on board Air Force One.
He's now winging his way back to the nation's capital. Fox 10's Brian Webb joins us live from Sky Harbor. The president took off, about an hour ago, a little less?
John, sounds about right. We're on top. We had a pretty good vantage point here, top of Terminal 3 parking garage. Take a look at this beautiful view of the valley. This is what the president saw as he arrived today, and then again when he took off this afternoon, right about 4:30 Arizona time, give or take a few minutes. And this is a shot of that happening. Air Force One up and away, heading west over downtown Phoenix. The president wrapping up a whirlwind day from Vegas to Sky Harbor Airport, up to Dream City Church and back again. Drivers coming onto the airport couldn't help but slow down a bit to take a long look at that plane as they went by. An impressive sight for sure. And this is video of Air Force One landing today. Air traffic at Sky Harbor Airport was essentially shut down for about 15 or 20 minutes to make way for the president's plane. It arrived about 20 minutes later than expected, touchdown right at 1:45. As you might guess, the president doesn't go through a terminal or walk to his car. An elevated staircase rolls right up to the plane. He pops out and walks down the stairs. Then today he took a sharp left turn over to the traveling press corps for some brief comments on the war with Iran.
We're having a big day. We'll see how it all turns out, but it should be good. We've had some very good discussions, and hopefully that subject that you like to talk about will be very good. And we've done a good job, but we'll see Talks are going on. It'll go on over the weekend, and a lot of good things are happening. And that includes Lebanon, too.
What will it take to end the blockade?
When the agreement is signed, the blockade ends. As soon as the agreement gets signed, that's when the blockade ends.
It apparently takes Air Force One about 4 hours to get from Phoenix to Washington, D.C., shaving about an hour travel time off from the rest of us. Live at Sky Harbor, I'm Brian Webb, Fox 10 News.
Brian, thanks. We'll have much more on the president's visit coming up at 5, and you can get the latest on our website, fox10phoenix.com, and on our YouTube page by scanning the QR code on your screen.